The level of agricultural development, in particular, determines the growth of the population's living standard, since it provides both the life activity of more than 1/3 of population, food supply of the whole population, and the development of some industrial branches, particularly light and food industry, which function mostly on the basis of agricultural products.
The main goal of the agro-industrial system in the food security sector is to possibly meet the population's demand for the staple food products at the expense of domestic production, with the account of the latter's safety for the consumer's health, upon the provision of sustainable progress based on the development strategy of the country's economy and labor division and specialization regularities.
The majority of the population in developing countries have limited access to clean energy. To increase access to clean energy, the governments and other stakeholders have been working hard to create enabling environments for their adoption and utilization. For the household cooking sector, technological innovations such as improved biomass fuels, improved biomass cook stove, solar cooking, biogas, and recently bottled gas service have been or are being deployed to scale up clean cooking.
The modern period ended with the radical transformation of the technologies of communication, knowledge, and energy that followed World War II. A central characteristic of the modern period has been continued increase in the efficacy of the technology of production, which poses a growing challenge to the primacy of the values these means are supposed to serve.
The most dangerous animals on the North American continent, by a margin of 1,000 to 1, are not bears, mountain lions or wolves but poisonous snakes. Attacks occur far more frequently than most people suspect. 6,500 to 7,000 humans are bitten by venomous snakes in the United States each year. Fortunately, the death rate from snakebite is low, largely because of widespread knowledge about snakes and the fact that in most cases treatment is prompt.
The most obvious change is that 46% of college undergraduates are now women. When I went there, it was only the third year that women had been admitted, and then seemingly grudgingly, about 70% of students were male, and if there was a woman tutor she must have been a male impersonator.
The National Health Service of the country was set up in 1948 shortly after the end of the Second World War. Its aim is to provide free medical treatment for all patients who wish to take advantage of the service. However, it is still possible to obtain private medical treatment, and in this case the doctor charges a fee.
The natural factor of free trade port is the natural condition that decides the foundation construction of free trade port. For example, the most basic port construction site must be coastal areas, with a certain ship sailing in the berthing conditions. The sea area is stable, with less wind and waves, to ensure the safety of port ship navigation, and has good land conditions for the processing and storage of goods and transportation. The more perfect the natural elements are, the higher the basic scale and value of the port will be.
The next wave of leaders in industrial manufacturing will build an ecosystem that capitalizes on the promise of analytics and connectivity to maximize efficiency for themselves and their customers. They will map out their strategies and prioritize measures that will bring the most value to their business, starting now with pilot projects, and building greater strengths in data analytics with cross-functional teams of experts.
The novel develops after the death of Defoe, with S. Richardson (1689–1761), a professional printer who took novel writing when he was 50. Richardson liked to help young women with the composition of their love letters and was asked by a publisher to write a volume of model letters for use on various occasions.
The origins of a written literature can be found in most of the civilizations of the ancient world, in India, China, and among the Jewish people whose great work of literature is taken to present. The start of Western literature is the Old Testament of the Bible.
The physical location of a restaurant in the competitive landscape of the city has long been known as a major factor in its likely success or failure. Once restaurants are established in such environments, they can do little about their location. All they can do is work to improve customer access to their premises. Restaurateurs often do this by engaging in battles with local authorities about car parking.
The preparation of abstracts is an intellectual effort,
requiring general familiarity with the subject. To bring out the salient points of an author's argument calls for skills and experience. Consequently, a considerable amount of qualified manpower that could be used to advantage in other ways must be diverted to the task of facilitating access to information.
The provision of accurate and authoritative statistical information strengthens modern societies. It provides a basis for decisions to be made on such things as where to open schools and hospitals, how much money to spend on welfare payments, and even which football players to replace at half-time.
The range of bacteria, fungi, and invertebrates living in the soils of our city parks and gardens may be more important for healthy ecosystems than the range of plants we plant there, according to Australian and international research.
The red panda spends much of its time in trees but feeds on the ground, eating primarily bamboo leaves but also fruit and roots. The giant panda superficially resembles a bear.
the body is chiefly white, and the limbs are brownish-black, with the dark color extending up over the shoulder.
The red panda spends much of its time in trees but feeds on the ground, eating primarily bamboo leaves but also fruit and roots. The giant panda superficially resembles a bear. The body is chiefly white, and the limbs are brownish-black, with the dark color extending up over the shoulder. The ears and eye patches are black.
The researchers say listening to music was associated with less stress at the time of listening and improved overall mood, and those suffering from chronic stress were able to improve their mood by listening to music. The researchers say we can learn from this and use music, especially happy music, to help us through other stressful periods of our lives.
The sad situation of the homeless remains a problem. It is difficult to estimate how many people are homeless because the number depends on how the homeless are defined. There are street people, those who sleep in bus stations, parks, and other areas.
The semiconductor industry has been able to improve the performance of electric systems for more than 4 decades by making ever smaller devices. However, this approach will soon encounter both scientific and technical limits, which is why the industry is exploring a number of alternative device technologies.